Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make smoked salmon with a sweet Thai chili glaze. Now for this recipe I'm going to use a really simple brine. I'm going to leave the salmon to soak in the brine for about 4 hours. The brine recipe just calls for half a cup of salt to 4 cups of water. Make sure you use granulated salt, not the normal iodized salt. So I'm going to mix that up right now. Okay, so we're going to do 4 cups of water. And now we're going to do half a cup of salt. Get that salt in there. Boom. Okay. Mix it up. Okay, now I've got my brine. I'm just going to dump it into this bag here. Now I'm going to put the salmon in the brine bag. Alright, now I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 4 hours. Alright, while you're waiting for your salmon to brine, you can prepare your sweet chili sauce. And this is a really simple recipe. So I'm just going to use my food processor, put all the ingredients in, and I'll get that set up right now. Alright, so what we're going to use for the sweet chili glaze is half a cup of vinegar. Put that in the food processor. We're going to use 1 cup of water. About 8 cloves of garlic. 4 red chilies, or more depending on your taste. If you don't like the spice as much, you can remove the seeds. The seeds impart a lot more heat. And then we have 1 cup of sugar. Now we're just going to blend it up. Alright, now we're going to transfer it into a pan. We're going to simmer it to thicken up the sauce. Okay, I've got the sweet chili mixture at a rapid boil now. I'm trying to reduce it as much as possible. You want to bring it to a rapid boil for about 5 minutes, and then after that you can bring the heat right down and you can add a little bit of cornstarch. Now when you're adding the cornstarch, the trick is to add about 2 tablespoons of really cold water to the cornstarch. You don't want to use hot water. The cornstarch is going to clump together and it's going to make a mess. So I've prepared some beforehand. You can see it right here. This is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. So I'm going to take this off the heat now, and I'm going to mix the cornstarch in and give it a good mix. Alright, now I'm just going to let it sit for a while and let the cornstarch work its magic and thicken up. Now that you've brined your salmon, you're going to want to get it as dry as possible. I like to use paper towels just to really pat it down and soak up all of the excess moisture. So I'm going to do that right now. Now that the excess moisture's been dried off, I'm going to leave the salmon to dry at room temperature for about 2 hours. This is going to allow the salmon to build up a skin called the pellicle. And this dry skin on the outside of the salmon is what's going to allow the smoke to really cling to the surface of the salmon and give it that really rich smoked salmon flavor. Okay, so this salmon's been sitting out for about 2 hours now, and it's formed a pellicle dry skin that's going to soak up all of the smoke flavor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop it in the smoker, and I'm going to start it out at 100 degrees Fahrenheit because you really want to increase the heat really gradually. If you cook it too quickly, all of this protein called albumin is going to come out and it's going to leak off of the salmon, and you want it to stay in the salmon to retain all the moisture and good flavor. So we're going to put it in 100 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour, and then after that 1 hour mark we're going to bump it up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point I'm going to start glazing it every hour with the Thai chili glaze, and then every hour I'll pump it up by an increased temperature. The 3rd hour I'll put it up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and then on the 4th hour I'll pump it up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And you just want to monitor the temperature of the salmon until it reaches an internal temperature of about 125 degrees Fahrenheit. You can take it out at that point. The temperature will probably rise to 130, and at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, the inside of the salmon will probably be the most tender that you can get it. You really want to be careful not to overcook it. A lot of people cook it to 145 degrees Fahrenheit, but I find that is way too overdone. So internal temperature of 125, and then let it rest after it comes out for about 5 minutes, and you'll have a delicious smoked salmon. So let's get this in the smoker now. So one thing I forgot to mention is the type of wood chip I'm going to use is alder. I find that it imparts a sort of lighter, smoky flavor onto the salmon, really pairs well with it. I wouldn't go with mesquite or hickory. I think the flavors are a bit too overpowering, so go with alder if you can. Okay, we took the salmon out of the smoker and now I've tented it. I'm letting it rest for about 10 minutes. Before I put it in the tin foil here, I actually broiled it on high in the oven for about 5 minutes, just to get the glaze really crystallized and caramelized on the top of the salmon. Give it a nice sort of burnt, crispy flavor. So now I'm going to see what we have. Looks pretty good. Okay, now let's see what it tastes like here. Oh, look at that. That looks really good. That's really tender, and it's got a nice crispy outside with the smoke and the glaze. This is going to taste really good. See how it goes. Mmm. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's really spicy. It's really tender, but it's also got a huge spicy kick, so if you guys don't like spiciness, then add less red peppers for sure. Okay everyone, thanks for watching.